Today, I'm going to show you 3 simple steps for making a leather belt.
Belts are a great beginner project because they are one of the most basic and easiest leather crafting projects you can tackle. You only need the most basic of tools, and like so many of my other projects, you'll probably have most of these tools lying around your house or in your garage right now. In fact, the only things you might need to purchase are a punch set, a beveler, an edge burnisher, and some rivets. Then you'll be ready to go.
Now there's one tool that I really do like. It's not necessary, but it is a tremendous help for setting up a perfect line of holes across your belt. I'm going to be giving away 3 of these tools to my viewers, so I want you to stay tuned, watch the entire video, and find out how you can get your hands on one of these. Welcome to Big Stack's Small Workshop.
The first of 3 steps in belt making is putting your buckle on the belt. Pretty simple, right? I like using the buffalo hide belt blanks from Weaver Leathercraft, which are pre-punched and have the edges already finished. They're also very durable and can last a lifetime if properly cared for.
I'm going to leave links in the description of this video to show you where to get these belt blanks, the buckles I'm working with, and some of the tools that I use in this video that you might not have at your house.
Since the factory already punches holes in this end of the belt blank, it makes getting started a lot easier. All you have to do is feed the buckle into the belt blank and make sure it's facing the right way. You can get a set of inexpensive rivets and a rivet setter from your local craft store. Once you've mastered the belt making process, you can upgrade to copper rivets. The only thing you're going to need to set the rivets is a hard surface, such as steel or marble. Harbor Freight sells a fairly inexpensive anvil, or you can get some scrap steel. Just make sure it's fairly thick. You can sometimes find a small slab of marble at a thrift store, or just visit your local countertop store and ask for a cutoff. If you don't want to set rivets, you can always use Chicago screws as well, as all you have to do is put them in and twist them in place.
Cutting your belt to length is the second of the 3 steps in belt making, and I have a really easy tip you can use to get your belt cut to the perfect length. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up so YouTube can share it with more makers just like you.
Just use your current belt and measure from the leather at the buckle end to the hole you use the most. This is your current waist size. This trick works every single time for an accurate measurement. Now, measure the belt you're making from the leather at the buckle with the exact same measurement and mark it. Don't get too excited and cut the belt yet. Now, measure 5 more inches from the mark and cut off the end of your belt. I use a utility knife with a cutting mat behind it to cut my belt end. There are a few different cuts you can make, but I like to use what's called an English point strap end. If you don't have a cutting mat, you can use a kitchen cutting board instead.
Now that we have our belt cut to length, we're almost done. All we have is one more step. That's going to be finishing the strap end of the belt by punching the holes in it and finishing the edge so it looks nice and professional.
You just measure backward 4 inches from the new end you just cut and put 5 marks, 1 at every inch after your first mark. Make sure they are centered. Double check your measurements, both along the length and the width. You know, measure once, blah, 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 cut twice.
Sounds complicated and boring. Check this out.
I like using a belt template to mark my strap end and cut my holes. Way easier to use this, and the holes are placed perfectly in 5 seconds. Just add 5 inches to your belt measurement, and this bad boy will do all the boring measuring for you. Again, perfect hole placement in 5 seconds.
I'll have these belt end templates for sale very soon on my YouTube store. But now is your chance to win one before you can buy it. Stay tuned to the end of the video. We're almost there because I'm giving 3 of these away. Punch a hole in a scrap piece of leather to make sure the tang of your buckle will fit through this hole. Then, using the right size punch, poke your belt's holes out one by one. You can use a regular hammer, but if you find you're enjoying leathercraft, don't wait too long to purchase an inexpensive mallet. Steel hammers will mushroom the end of your punches over time. The very last thing is to burnish the edges of your belt. First, use a beveler to take the hard edge off of both sides of your cut. Color in the edges with edge finish, dye, or even a Sharpie. Then add a little water and run it along the edge burnisher. Use a coat of wax and burnish again to seal everything up. Finally, finish your belt with some type of conditioner to keep the leather supple. I've heard you can use unscented hand lotion, but shoe cream is really cheap and does a great job. Plus, you can use it on your fancy shoes and boots to keep them in tip-top shape. There you go, one really durable belt that can last you a very, very long time. Now that you know how to make a belt, I'm going to show you how to make some decent money by making a bunch of belts and how to sell them. But that's going to be in a future video, in the very near future. Do me a favor, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss that video. Now, back to that belt template giveaway. Yeah, I'm giving away 3 of these things. And it's really easy to enter. All you have to do is to leave a question in the comments down below. It can be any question about leathercraft, as long as it's about leathercraft. On November 14th, I'm going to pick my favorite 3 questions. And those 3 people are going to be the winners of my belt templates. This contest is going to end November 14th. So do me a favor. Go down there, leave your questions now. Don't wait. Remember, Big Stacks grows, Big Stacks builds, and Big Stacks makes. And I'll see you guys next time on Big Stacks Small Workshop. This contest is going to end November 14th. So do me a favor. Go down there, leave your questions now. Don't wait.